Hello. If you're watching this, you're probably facing one of life's most difficult moments. We get that. Our goal today is simple: to give you a clear, straightforward guide to the divorce process right here in Maryland, and hopefully help you see a real path forward. You know, when you're first thinking about divorce, it's so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. It can feel like you're lost in a maze with a million questions coming at you all at once, and that's totally normal. So let's just start by saying it's okay to feel that way. It's so important to acknowledge that this is one of the toughest, most emotional things anyone can go through. Your feelings are absolutely valid. Now, while that emotional journey is tough, understanding the legal side of things, well, that doesn't have to be. In fact, just getting a grasp on the actual steps is often the very first thing that helps you feel like you're back in control. And here's some really good news. If your idea of divorce comes from movies or old stories, you should know that things have changed a lot. The laws in Maryland just went through a huge update, and they're now designed to make this whole process simpler and way less confrontational. Okay, so let's jump right in and talk about what's new, because these changes really do alter the entire landscape of divorce in Maryland, and honestly, it's for the better. The biggest shift? We've moved away from the blame game. The old way often forced you to prove faults, things like adultery or cruelty, which, as you can imagine, could turn a tough situation into an absolute war. The new way is a much more streamlined, no-fault system. The focus isn't on why it ended anymore, but on the simple fact that it has and how we move forward. And check this out. This is a big one. The mandatory separation period. It's been cut in half, from a full year down to just 6 months. This makes a huge difference because it means you and your family can get closure and start moving on with your lives so much faster. Now this right here is a total game changer. The law now says you can be legally separate and apart, even if you're still living in the same house. Just think about that for a second. That massive financial stress and logistical nightmare of someone having to move out immediately, it's gone. This makes the process possible for so many people who felt stuck before. Okay, so the laws are simpler, which is great. But what does the actual process look like from start to finish? Let's walk through the basic roadmap for a divorce case here in Maryland. I know the court process can seem really intimidating, but it really boils down to these 5 key stages. It all starts with one person filing the official paperwork, the complaint. Then your spouse is formally notified. After that, both sides exchange all the necessary financial information. No secrets. Now, step 4 is crucial. This is where most cases get resolved: mediation and settlement, where you work together to find an agreement. And once you do, the whole thing ends with a judge signing the final decree. See, it's a structured path, not just chaos. And within that process, every single divorce, it doesn't matter if it's simple or complex, really comes down to resolving a few core issues. Getting these sorted out is what allows everyone to move forward with real clarity. These are what I call the 3 big pillars. First, marital property. That's everything you've both acquired during the marriage. The house, the cars, retirement accounts, even debt. It all needs to be divided. Second, if you have children, the absolute #1 priority is creating a custody plan that is in their best interest. And third, there's alimony, or spousal support, which the court might consider to make sure things are financially fair after the divorce. Here's a term you need to know: equitable distribution. A lot of people hear that and think it means everything gets split 50-50, right down the middle. But that's not exactly right. In Maryland, the goal is what's fair, not necessarily what's equal. The court looks at a whole bunch of factors to decide what a fair division looks like. So, now you have a new, simpler map of the law, and you have a clear destination in mind: a fair resolution that lets you start your next chapter. But, a map is only helpful if you know how to read it. So, how do you actually navigate this journey? Well, this is exactly where having an experienced, compassionate guide by your side becomes so important. Because even with simpler laws, this is definitely not a trip you want to take all by yourself. You really don't have to go through this alone. And finding the right guide, someone who's focused on helping people right here in Washington County, can make all the difference in the world. It's about finding someone who guides you, not just your case. At the Badaki Law Firm, our whole approach is built on 3 core ideas. First, we lead with compassion. We know we're helping a human being through a major life event, not just processing a case file. Second, we are accessible. We work hard to reduce the financial stress that comes with getting legal help. And finally, we have a modern approach. We use technology to make every step of the process as efficient and as clear for you as possible. And let's talk about that accessibility piece for a minute, because, look, we get it. Cost is a huge worry for almost everyone. That's why we've partnered with a firm to offer flexible payment plans. What that means for you is you can get the top-notch legal help you deserve, but with predictable, manageable monthly payments that actually fit your budget. No stress, no surprises. All right, we've talked about the new laws, we've walked through the process, and we've shown you how we can help. So now let's talk about the most important part of all, taking that first, simple step to get the clarity and support that you deserve. You know, knowledge is power. And right now, the most powerful thing you can do is start taking back control of your future. And it all begins with a simple, completely confidential conversation to figure out your options. Please don't stay stuck in a state of uncertainty. There is a clear path forward, and we're here to help you find it. Give us a call. Schedule your confidential consultation. Take that first step for yourself today.